Hello and welcome back to the Dads. We are in person, live, and together at the table for this special episode. We are picking up right where we left off. It was nighttime at the settlement, the encampment on the island, and you guys had an attack. Large, giant skeletons fiercely came out. But you only suffered one fatality. There's only one member of the crew that died. Durant did suffer some damage, but you were able to remove the poison that was in your wound. You guys effectively fireballed and slashed and holyballed and yeeted all of the skeletals so that the camp is not under threat. And as Captain Edwards established order and set up different squads to kind of march the perimeter, you guys were kind of getting ready to settle down and finally get a rest after such an exhausting day. And in his tent, as you elaborated on your various magical gifts from the gods, you heard a voice from far off yelling like, "Help, it's gone, it's gone." Captain Edwards jumps up from the table and he runs out of the tent. What do you do?
Follow.
What's gone?
Okay, you guys run out and you see coming from the east/northeast, you see a sailor who you see visibly, like from the firelight from the bonfire, running up to three of the guards who have like torches and weapons. And he's soaked, like as in he was in the water. And you also see multiple gashes and like blood. And he's just pale and he literally collapses in front of these guards over there. You run with Captain Edwards over and Edwards is like, what happened? What are you speaking of? And the sailor's like, the ship, they attacked us. It's gone. It took the ship. Everybody's dead.
What about the crew on the ship?
He passes out.
Tuco's going to rub his hands real quick together and slap him on the guy.
How much squad do you have?
I have 0.
I saved 3.
You saved 3?
So I'm going to cast Restore the Flesh, and I'm going to boost that by 1. So I burn the rain and Qua.
Well played. Roll your religion plus willpower roll. Let's see how effective this powerful spell is.
Not very. That's 9.
That meets the target number. So roll a d4. Sorry, roll 2d4. You upcast that.
That's 5.
Okay. He's like, oh. And he wakes up. You see visibly his wounds, some of them begin to close. He looks around and he's like, Captain, we were attacked. We were ambushed. Buccaneers. He said, we tried to fight, but they overwhelmed us quickly. They killed a lot of the men. So I was trying my best to defend the ship, and I got hit over the head. And I fell overboard. He's like, they've taken the ship, Captain.
How long ago?
He says, I'm not sure. I was unconscious. I floated ashore and I woke up at night. It couldn't have been that long.
Did they come from another ship? Where did they come from? Did they come out of the sea?
I'm not sure.
Do you know which way it went?
No, when I looked out, I was on the rocky beach near the harbor. There was but the moonlight, and it was overcast. My visual was reduced to 20 feet maximum by light. But on the horizon, I didn't see the ship.
How far are we from where the ship was moored?
So remember, you guys went inland 2 miles from the harbor.
I don't really.
So he looked like he literally was. I mean, he's soaked. Yeah. Like his leather boots are.
So, where did the attackers come from?
I don't know. I was on guard duty. There was 3 of us on guard duty, and all of a sudden these buccaneers sprang over the rails and began attacking us. And we sounded the bell, and several others came out from their sleeping quarters and tried to fight, but there were so many of them. There were dozens.
Did they come from all directions, or?
Yes.
Well, Riff is going to book where the ship was.
Yes, they were buccaneers. They were pirates.
I want to fly out there and fly to the ship. I want to find the ship. Riff is not wasting time.
Temporal.
He's booking it towards where the ship was.
Okay, you guys see Riff just take off. Edwards yells, he's like, you 4 men, run, follow him, go to the shore. See where our ship is.
Your flute to make us fly, so we don't have to burn claw. Whatever. Don't we have a magic flute that makes us fly?
Necklace.
Whatever. Thank you. Yeah, and so
Should we just retcon it and make the magic necklace into a flute?
so,
Magic flute.
but make it put us fly. So if we,
This is 2 miles. No big deal.
but we could fly. Okay, fair enough. 2 miles we get up
Let's
there.
save a qua or a magic when we can.
So Tuco's gonna run
you
after
start
him.
running. Tuco, you join them. Durant, what do you do?
I have no choice but to run after them because I'm not going to let my brother face danger alone.
Okay.
Also, he's afraid of the dark.
All right. What does Humphrey do?
Humphrey's right there with him. He's running.
And more importantly, how much quad does Humphrey have?
It's a personal question.
Okay.
Humphrey's got 4 quals.
Okay. All right. You guys start running. There's 3 of the other crew members who are on guard duty for the camp running with you, one of whom has a torch, which is just flickering in the wind as you guys are running. How long does it take to run 2 miles over land that's rough terrain at night with low visibility?
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes sounds good to me. 20 minutes later. Oh, wait, I was going to have you guys get attacked on the way.
You know what? Yes, I still want that.
No, that's fine. So you guys arrive at the harbor. You hear the sound of the waves lapping at the shore, and it's pretty far up because of the tides. You look out by moonlight, and you don't see a ship in the harbor.
Riff immediately uses echoes of the past in the direction of where the ship was.
Awesome.
Wasting no time.
Why did I allow time metric? All right. How much qua is that?
2.
That's
According to the magic sheet.
yet again, we discover another broken element of the game. All right, that's fine. Minus off your petty 2 qua to learn vast amounts of knowledge.
Yes.
But first, make a willpower plus magic roll. Let's see what degree of success you have for this perception into time.
22. I mean, come look.
Okay. You are able to rewind a while back. You see, you actually see like the last hour and a half go by in fast rewind motion. You see the ship. So the ship headed off east, like away from the island. But you see it rewind to where it's docked, and you see this collection of buccaneers scaling the sides of the ship to climb it and attack.
How are they dressed? Do they look like the guys we saw on that island?
They look like silhouettes because your perception of time from this point that you're looking at doesn't change your lighting. So you just see forms climbing up. But yeah, they kind of look like humans.
Can I
And
ask questions?
You do see rowboats. There you see them like
it's the sound, right?
climbing up, and then you hear sounds and you see attacking and silhouettes in the moonlight and people and torches getting dropped and then you see like splash.
Are they longboats like we would have seen
Yes.
on that island?
Yes.
Possibly? Okay. So
The sails were like drawn.
We got to
So
use
they were-
a necklace and we fly or we try to track it.
we probably should bury them.
Yeah, let's do it.
We should totally fight with no advantage. This will go well.
Even if it's just to track where it went. I'm all for flying after this thing.
So Durant's going to ask, did they head in the direction of the island that you saw?
The island would have been southeast
Gotta be
from the harbor.
southeast. They took
This looked like it just went east, like ocean east.
Let's start flying. Are you?
I advise caution. This could be an ambush.
Oh, they've already ambushed us.
It was an ambush. Took the ship.
Like, you'd be spot on. It was an ambush.
Because of the enormous degree of success that you have, your sense of the timing of this is you're very confident in the accuracy of that. So you feel like this ship sailed off an hour and a half ago. Like the attack.
It can't have
and
gone
then-
that far in an hour and a half.
Was it
It's a
under
ship
sail?
on the ocean with sails.
Yeah, but it's not like it's an old-timey vessel. So it's not like it's got,
All right, guys, this thing took off east an hour and a half ago.
I say we use the necklace. We all fly out looking for it and track where it's going.
Does
And-
anyone have the ability to make someone invisible? Maybe have one person go and be invisible and just scout as opposed to
I know you're
Having
dying
us all
for a
go.
solo flight, Humphrey.
We,
I will gladly say the qua and use
because I
my-
only have 4 qual left, and so I
will
don't.
that give you invisibility?
It will give me invisibility, but then I'm spent. So if I had to do anything defensive or while I was there,
Humphrey lands on the ship and they're like, surrender. He's like, oh, okay. I got no
He
weapons.
dies.
He got me.
Fly fast
Fly true.
and go east and try to catch up. If not, circle back to that island from what you remember.
Well, it's nighttime. I'm sure I can fly.
Oh, yeah.
reasonably.
You're going to invoke the flight using the necklace. So you make it so that he can fly.
That's the goal.
You can fly. All right. So
Can
you
you
shoot off to the east,
Yeah.
right?
I get some altitude so I can
Make a perception plus nature roll.
nature.
Uh-oh. This is why I feel you suck in that.
Because you would be accurate, my friend. You know what? I wish I had like ones that actually do roll.
Do you want me to make the sound effect of rolling while
I load this up and
you digitally roll?
I will digitally roll. Okay, but I'm going to roll with inspiration.
Oh, you're going to burn that.
I'm going to
huh?
burn that.
Okay. This could be telling.
14.
ooh, good thing you used
Okay.
inspiration.
Yeah.
You recognize 2 things. Number 1, the wind is actually blowing east. They have the wind at their advantage.
Okay.
Number 2, you're not sure how long this flight spell lasts.
No, I thought we
But
that
you-
was normal.
You start, yes, but you start flying out there. You are flying at night using the reflection of the moonlight on the waves to navigate. How high up in the air are you flying? Up above the sea level.
500 feet.
That's very high.
It'd be tiny.
I'm just saying if a person jumped off of a bridge and went 500 feet down into the ocean, would they be alive?
No, but I also have enough claw that if I ran out,
Okay.
I could cast fly.
But
out.
could you even see it from 500 feet up?
Yeah, absolutely. 500 feet.
At
Okay.
night?
So you are flying, right?
It's just the ocean.
You have the wind at your back. Not that that matters because you're flying magically. But you are flying. You fly for an hour. You have not caught up to it yet. Now you are very far away from the island.
Okay, turn back. I mean, and I don't have any ability to.
I remember what Riff said.
What did Riff say?
I can't say it because it'd be cheating.
I don't know. I don't know what Riff said.
Do you have spatial magic?
I do have 2. Recently acquired.
Okay, make a perception plus magic roll.
Okay. $17.
Oof. There's something not right. The wind is at their back, right? But you're like,
I'm zipping along.
Yeah.
I should have seen it.
they're moving very fast and you don't think it's just the wind. You feel like there's something else involving this ship, and somehow your instinct is it has to do with spatial magic.
Okay, so it's a lost cause at this point for me. So then I did turn back and report that I didn't find anything.
Okay.
I don't think I have a spell that. So I don't think mental. So these are about. I mean, mental for sensing. Can I sense?
So you know what the ship looks like.
Yeah.
You want to burn 2 qua for spatial magic and just scry it?
What is scry?
Like you can find it in space and time, regardless of whether your human eyes can see it.
Read up on spatial. Yes, of course I do. Why didn't this come to me earlier?
Okay.
But that's
You
not fed,
burn
right?
two qua. No, it's what's the spell called? It's on the spell list.
Okay.
Either way, it's a 2. So you burn two qua. You're floating in the air, and you see this ship
Mm-hmm.
like another 100 miles ahead to the east, and it is in the deep ocean now, like huge waves, and this thing's going like whoosh, whoosh, and it's still making good time.
I really want
You see because you can scry in. You see that the crew on the ship by the moonlight, there's like lanterns on the ship, is the same group of people that you saw on the jungle island.
Okay. So, do I have a sense that I could catch it if I flew for another hour?
No.
I mean, if this thing, if I've been flying, if it's been going for about an hour, and if it's been going for an hour, so it should 2 hours. Fuck, it's like I'm back in like 7th grade math with word problems. So like this thing's working.
Basically, imagine you're flying at 30 miles an hour. This, because of your spatial magic, your understanding, it's as if this thing was going at like 60 miles an hour.
There's no way that I'm going to.
And you know that that's not just the natural wind at its back.
Yeah.
There's something else manipulating this thing moving fast.
Okay. Well, I don't have any option. I got to turn back.
Okay. With your spatial magic and your successful roll, you are able to navigate yourself back across the open ocean to the island. On your way back, you pass by that small jungle island, and you don't see any small boats, nor do you see that camp. In the
I
jungle.
thought going east,
Yeah.
not southeast.
You went east. On the way back, you're like, I wonder. You fly back.
Okay.
Nobody's there. And then you fly back.
As Riff told you to stop by the island.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
So
I didn't.
you guys have an hour and a half of time. You're all like standing at the shore looking at where the ship used to be. Captain Edwards finally arrives. And he like looks to you. He's like, well, any news?
We are still searching, but the ship appears to have gone east. Do you know what is east of here?
He reaches into a pouch and pulls out a looking glass and he looks.
We could want that.
Like, I don't see it. He says, east of here is nothing. I mean, not for weeks. Nicaea is east of here, but that's weeks away.
Besides it being a ship and our only way out of this area, is there anything of value left on the ship that would make it worthy of being stolen like that?
You see he like massages his temples. He takes off his tricorn hat, and you could just see he seems like devastated. He's like, well, we did bring most of the supplies to shore. We have provisions, we have equipment, we have supplies, so most of that was brought ashore. But the ship was our means of getting back to O'Shea. He says, I'm not exactly sure how long it would take before our company sent another ship to find out why we haven't returned. But I would estimate it would be months of time.
I would like, so I'm flying back. I want to do distant whisper.
Okay.
It costs 2 claw, and I can send a message. Basically, it's a message.
Yep.
And so I'll send it to Tuco, and I say these. You know, I merely tell them everything. I realized that flying out there forever. You know, I use scry. I couldn't. You know, I found the ship, but there's no way I can keep up, and it's these people that match to what we saw now.
So Master Humphrey located the ship. It's 200 miles east at least, and it's going at like 60 knots. There's got to be something else. The wind can't make it go that fast, can it?
No, absolutely not.
Additionally, the people that we saw on the island that looked like they were shipwrecked, they seem to be the ones that are piloting the ship.
By what means could those sailors have accelerated the pace of the vessel? He says, and he looks to the other guards that he had sent with you guys. He goes, "You three go back to the camp, make sure we're secure and we're not being attacked." They're like, "Yes, Captain." And they kind of walk off. And then almost as an afterthought, he turns and he says, "Say nothing more of what you heard here until we know more details. I'll not have rumor mongering in the camp." And they're like, "Yes, Captain." And then they walk off. He waits a few moments, and when they're clear, he looks to you and he says, "Is it possible that there are others like you who possess the gifts to manipulate things in their favor?"
I mean, yeah. It's definitely possible.
It's also possible the attack on the camp was a diversion so that they could get the ship.
That effing lich followed us.
Riff pulls out his small set of bagpipes from his pack and plays a womp womp sound. Because this is very dismal of a scene.
You're trying to channel your inner
Edward seems truly deeply concerned. He says, "If it is the case that we are going to be here for months, we will need to begin daily fishing and foraging for food. We cannot rely on the provisions that we have alone because they won't last that long."
Yes, it's probably a good prayer for a long stay. And what do you call these islands? The Lost Islands?
He says,
Yeah.
"These islands have not been named yet."
I can think of a few names right now I'd like to call them.
He says, I'm going to return to the camp."
I think we can all benefit from a good night's sleep.
It may be a good idea on the morrow, or at least soon, to scout out that island to see if there's any more evidence of who or what was there.
It's a long swim, or by whatever means you have, but I trust that you will do it safely and appropriately.
Do we have rowboats still, at least?
Well, yeah, because the ship would have been not obviously docked, and we would have had rowboats at the shore.
We have two. The other ones would have been hoisted up alongside the ship.
I think those are used better than for us, though.
Correct.
He says, "Very well, if you'll excuse me." And he walks back towards the camp. While he's gone, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
I'm waiting for Humphrey to return. Presumably he will come back here.
Okay.
I'm just kind of sitting down in the sand for now.
Durant's going to pray because there's not much else to do.
What do you pray, and to whom?
Well, I'm going to go to the shrine. And I'm
the
going
water basin?
Yeah, the water basin on the map there. Yeah. And I'm going to kneel before it, and I'm going to invoke Savak Boku again. And I'm going to say, terrible things have befallen us. We may perhaps be stuck here for quite some time. Please give to me some morsel of knowledge that might help in ensuring the longevity of this settlement.
make a willpower plus religion roll.
That's a whole lot of ones. 7, 9, 11.
That's still not a full step above, but that meets the difficulty. So you find yourself in this meditative kind of prayer state. You don't hear any voices, but you feel kind of flashes in your mind. It's almost like a series of flashbacks. In the first flashback, you see yourself with your group arriving at Dragon Falls and assisting the people there. Then you see another flash as you arrive by the small village near the Mage's Tower and assisting people there. You find yet another flash of yourself here on the island and assisting this company in this expedition. And you feel like all of these flashbacks have a common theme, that you and your group are those who serve their fellow men and assist and guide and lead them to not only survive, but in many cases, in most cases, to thrive. And you sense that your purpose here is ultimately your choice. You sense that, like, Savak Boku provides knowledge, but free will is yours. Decisions can be made by you. But you see the pattern in the past, and that it bears a theme that resonates.
Okay. Follow-up prayer, if that's allowed.
prayer.
Yes.
I understand it is my duty to serve others and to serve men. But in serving here and keeping these people safe, what fortifications should we consider for the settlement? And maybe I'm not appealing to a god at this point, but I'm sort of trying to think things through internally.
As you contemplate that, you see that it's not so much the location. Like, the location is actually a great location. It's centered between a deep harbor where ships can come and a freshwater lake. There's plenty of fertile land for potential agriculture. There's plenty of lumber and timber. There are many resources available, and you, knowing what you've seen with your comrades in exploring, you know that this is just one portion of a much bigger island. And you think that this island represents the potential to be something for others, but that you hear that kind of resonating voice that it's your choice. It's the choices that you make that will determine whether this is a place where people thrive or where they don't. You sense potential. It's like a thing that is there.
Okay, Durant is going to stop the prayer at this point. And what he's going to do is to sort of step away and maybe think about these things during his restful time.
Roll a d4, a single d4, and just tell me what the number is.
2.
You feel, as you're stepping away, you feel like a breeze, and the breeze seems to be blowing east. What are you doing?
So Riff, in a sense that either because Durant said what he was doing, or Riff knows Durant enough now that he would have an idea what Durant was doing. And Riff has never done this before. But he's on like the edge of the beach on
Yes.
the sand. He drops to his knees and he sort of grabs a couple of handfuls of sand and just lets them fall over him. And he says, he just starts talking kind of upward because he doesn't know. He's seen Durant do this kind of thing before. And he's like, maker of all spirits and all things, like all powerful. I think you're out there. I don't know. I know my brother speaks or tries to speak to spirits. I feel like we've failed these people. We've delved into things we don't really know what we're doing. We've looked at events from the past and stirred up trouble that's been brought on Captain Edwards and his crew. If you hear me, give me some kind of knowledge or something to do to make amends for what we've brought here and how we've stranded these people and ourselves. And that's really all he can think to say because he doesn't know.
Make a willpower plus religion roll. Add a D4 to your dice pool.
What was the first one?
Religion plus willpower.
And add one. 19.
Who is the other people there? Is it just you?
Right now it should just be Tuco.
So you're kind of like also kind of meditating. I'll get to you in a minute. Give me a gist of what Tuco is doing while Riff's doing this, because this may have an impact.
Tuco wants to go talk to Durant once he is available and
so you walk back to the camp. Okay. All right. So you are by yourself. You have beseeched. You use specific words. The maker of all spirits. To clarify, you used a singular. You didn't beseech gods. You didn't specify any names, but you said the maker of all spirits.
Correct.
You hear like the sound of footsteps in, when like people are walking on the beach in the shallow part of the water, so it's kind of a splashy footstep in wet sand. You hear that. Like to your left, coming from the north. Your eyes are closed, you're in prayer, but you hear somebody walking towards you.
Definitely tempted to like open the left.
So you like kind of pop open an eye and look.
No, just like how you barely open your eyelashes and you can kind of see through, but not.
So you see a hazy figure walking towards you, kind of off to your left as you're looking out to the ocean, coming from the north along the harbor, walking towards you. And this figure is an older man with a long grayish brown beard and hair. Wearing like a humble kind of like tan gray robe with like a belt, no other equipment, and barefoot, just walking towards you about 20 feet away.
Okay, at that point, Riff's going to be like, just stand up. He was kind of done speaking to the Great Spirit anyway.
Do you have mental magic?
I do have mental magic.
What level?
4.
Make a willpower plus magic roll.
$15.
The man stops about 10 feet away. And he begins speaking to you in a language that you don't understand. But for some reason, even though your ears are hearing this language that you don't understand in a very deep, calm voice, your mind understands what he's saying to you. And he says, I am here.
And you are?
Me too.
You called me.
Careful
Who
what
are
wish
you?
for.
I did call for someone, but I didn't really exactly have a specific image in mind. Just, I suppose I apprehend there must be
You
some.
called for the maker of all spirits.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of there must be some maker behind the whole shebang. Is that you? Like,
Would you have known me in the place from whence you came? By what name would you have known me? Okay, so now you get to cheat. So now, as 5th edition Riff,
I wrote this down somewhere sometime.
you get to make a D20 roll.
Really?
Yeah. You get to make a lore check.
These big
5th edition Riff in the Forgotten Realms would make a religion check.
It's an infinity symbol.
That's a
That's
nat
what the
20.
eight looks like. No, but it's an 8.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah. Lore, is that a thing?
Yeah, well, you're a bard. So even if you don't,
I mean,
did you have
I thought it was-
proficiency in religion?
No.
So then you would have, what's your level? 8. So 4 plus, what's your,
I mean, I had a +2 in it just because,
Yeah.
but I didn't have a proficiency too. So 10, I guess.
so you believe that there was, in the mythology of the realms, that there were many pantheons, many gods, right? But that some believed there was the god above gods, like the
Right.
maker of the entire universe. And that was referred as Lord Ao.
Yes. And I remember that. And then there was like one that was sort of the unknown one or the golden.
Lord Ao.
Okay, Lord Ale. So that's,
He says,
are you Lord Ao?
I am not. In the tongue of the people on this island. The ones who you camp with. I am Upai Vasei Hoof
I won't ask you to spell that.
in the ancient tongue.
Say
And you would be considered by the people here as the eternal spirit that. I'll shut up now and just listen to you.
The one.
The one. I like that. That's short and to the point. As Riff is apt to speak.
He smiles. He says, you and your friends are strange.
Thank you.
You have come from very far. We have not seen such things in long times. You know this. You remember before?
It's starting to fade, but I have some memory.
The other one, the one who seeks the knowledge of Savak Boku.
My brother. Yes. Durant.
He was holy man.
Yes. I've never met a holier man. That helps.
He remembers before as well.
I believe he does.
Your memories do not slip yet.
We help each other hold on to the memories and hope that they will not slip if we keep reminding each other. Although we're not sure it's important to remember everything from before.
And the magus. His power is vast here.
He is hard to keep from showing his power. Very headstrong, but also very trustworthy.
Others will seek that power. You should advise him to guard it well. Such power was lost to the men of this land. They do not know it.
We have lost much, and you probably know this. We seem to be stranded here.
You probably know this. We have heard.
Should we?
This is not a stranded. This is a great place. Many others have come before. You will determine what you seek, whether you stay or whether you leave.
Riff turns around slowly in a circle to see if there's any other creatures or anything that he would notice, as he's starting to wonder if he's delusional.
You haven't activated any spirit stuff. Do you have any qua left?
Yeah, I've got 15 claw. I don't. So,
I mean, are you activating any kind of ability to sight things with the spirit?
in the storeroom, yeah, just ghost sight, just regular ghost sight, I guess.
Are you activating it? So just to be clear, this is a physical person. Like, you're not looking at a spirit. You're looking at a physical person.
So I was more thinking in terms of our old...
When you look around physically, you don't see anyone else.
Okay. I was thinking of the sea zombie that seemed to be able to play on our memories.
You don't, nope, you don't see any of that.
Okay. So that was looking physically. I do look spiritually too.
Minus off the qua.
Yeah, got it.
You blink, and when your spiritual vision overlaps the physical world, you see, you know, when you see like armies in movies that stretch for miles, you see that many angels lined up behind this guy, like all along the harbor, all the way back, just radiating light.
Yeah. Yeah, Riff drops.
Make a straight willpower roll.
Oh, gosh. This is the end of Riff.
Right.
2, 3, 4, 6, 9.
Not enough.
Oh boy.
Well, we failed the roll for...
You take 5 health of damage.
Oh,
Your psyche is blasted by the visual of this. You do fall to your knees, whether intentionally or not. You fall to your knees as your brain is racked with an incomprehensible supernatural experience. And he sees this and he looks and he smiles and he says, "You should not look. The Kai are too radiant for your mortal eyes." And he turns to them, he goes like this, and they all just they flutter their wings, and then they go and they shoot up like rockets into the sky. And there's like, you see trails, like 1,000 light trails, spiritual light trails fly off into the sky. He says, "This place has dangers, but it also has great peace. It is deeply natural, uncorrupted by men. But you are not stranded here. Should you desire, you will be able to go. There is always choice."
if I could ask one more question. Are all Kai to be trusted, as it seems your Kai...
The Kai do the will of the gods. They are the loyal ones.
Are all gods to be trusted?
The Kapu can be trusted, but the Kapu also... The Kapu sometimes have shared too much with mortals. The Kapu are sometimes the reason why mortals find themselves in trouble. It is the land which you should not trust. They are the ones who rebelled. And it is for that reason that they cannot return to Eos.
I'm not going to ask you what EOS is. I don't think I should know anymore.
He points up. Just he doesn't break his eye contact with you. He just points up. Eos.
Gotcha. EOS.
This place can be safe. This place can be good. Or it cannot. Choices. You will not see me again, Riff. But I will always hear. If you believe.
Thank you. Riff maybe goes like, is he still on his knees? Because he's still on his knees. He just closes his eyes again. That's like tight.
Remember the words. Upai, Visei, Oof.
Riff opens his eyes again after a minute.
He's gone.
Whoa. Riff looks around too to see if any of his friends are back, if he's still in.
Nope.
Okay.
You're just sitting at the beach, and the lower half of your clothing is damp. It's just waves.
Okay, good.
Waves and high tide.
I'm glad it was from the waves.
Yes, you did not piss yourself.
So he just sits in silence now until someone shows up.
Okay. Humphrey.
Yep.
You fly back to the harbor. No one's there except Riff, who's sitting in the wake.
Okay. I catch up with Riff
Okay.
and say,
Riff, Humphrey flies down, much like a god, and lands on the beach next to you.
did you guys get my message? I was just making sure.
Is it you? Is it you?
It is me.
Okay. I just had a weird experience.
It seems that way.
I tried praying for the first time.
How'd that work out for you?
Well, can he tell that I'm hurt?
No.
The damage I took? Because it was more like just
Mm-hmm.
Lord AO kind of damage. Sorry, what's his name? The one. I met the one.
The one what?
Yeah, the one.
The one?
Like the maker of all spirits.
Okay, you're going to have to, excuse me if I don't believe you initially, or if I might be having some questions.
I have questions too.
Okay.
But I'm definitely changed.
Okay.
So I have like a bronze appearance with my face.
You have like ice and snow hair.
Just to be clear, Riff looks exactly the same, albeit slightly more tired and damp.
Okay.
He's feeling himself anyway. Like,
It sounds like,
And there's sand in his hair.
it sounds like we have a lot to debrief about. But about the ship, do you have any new information? Did you guys get my message?
we did get your message. Tuco got your message, and he relayed the information to Captain Edwards.
Yeah.
Has already been Captain Edwards,
Okay.
and
So-
I think he went to check on Durant back at the camp.
Okay. Is there a plan?
The ship seems lost. I mean, you tell me. It sounded like it was.
That thing is cruising fast. Even with my ability to fly, this thing is moving faster than I could fly to even catch up. It is. There's something supernatural about this.
Any thoughts on that?
I can tell with my scrying ability, everything appeared normal, but it certainly moved through the ocean like a ship with speed that I've never seen before.
Have you ever yeeted something across water to know what that would look like?
No, I haven't.
Think about that.
Actually, a fairly decent idea. We could throw you 100 miles that way and land on the boat.
I've had a rough night.
It sounds like we've all had a rough night. Is it safe to say that we could turn in and recover for the night?
Yeah, let's head back to camp. Let's catch up with the others.
Okay. You guys take a jog back to camp. Smash cut back to camp. You've had prayer time. You get back to camp. you see Durant walking away from the shrine back towards the camp.
Master Durant, do you have a minute? I know this has been a tiring day, but I'm troubled, and I would seek your advice.
Of course.
This is hard for me because I'm not a religious man, and all my life I've learned to hide any kind of weakness, but since we've come to this place, I have just not felt right. I've been struggling to figure it out on my own, the way that I normally do, practicing my forms and, practicing until I can't stay up anymore, and usually calms my mind and gives me answers, but it's not working. I feel empty for some reason, and I don't understand why. I have everything. I've understood why my master did what he did, the honor that he gained with it. I understand I've lost a family, but I've gained a family. Everything should be good, but something is missing. And at the same time, paradoxically, things seem to be more. I have strange abilities that I've never had before. I've seen people do, and I just try to do them, and I can somehow. I have strange, like these boots I am wearing. Somehow I know they are very powerful, but they could, if I rubbed them or tapped them or blew on them or something, they would, if not all the way, very close, take us back home. But I am not sure even if I want to go back home. Do you have any insight? I just don't know what to do or what to even make of, what to even question.
Let me pose a question. What do you feel your greatest duty is? Is your duty to family? Is your duty to the places we left? Is your duty to the people we left? Or is your duty to generally people?
My duty is honor, to seek honor in all things. If people need help, I need to help them. If people are in danger, I need to protect them.
Do you feel that these people here are in need? Do you feel that they're in more danger than the people that we left behind?
You speak wisely. Maybe that is what I'm missing. I had nothing left to do in the old place. Here I have things to learn, and there is need of me, I think.
There's need of us all. And though you may not come to the gods in the way that I do, maybe some meditation and reflection will help your focus.
You have given me much to think about. Thank you. May Dainea bless you, or whatever I'm supposed to say.
It doesn't matter what you say. Sentiment is the value.
Thank you. I have to think now. And I think I'm going to go around camp.
Yep.
And just out of, rote, I'm going to try and look for, any kind of evidence of what happened either at the boat or with the attack. But at the same time, I'm just kind of thinking about what's going on. So I'm not really focusing on the search, but I'm doing it just as part of the action.
Okay.
Even if I don't have to get any sleep tonight, I'm just walking the camp, circles and circles.
Make me a perception plus survival roll.
Perception plus survival. And I'm going to burn my inspiration.
Okay.
15.
Wow. Yeah. You make a tour around the camp, and when you get to the northwest corner of the camp, you find the tracks. You go out further. You see the singed, scorched earth from where Humphrey's fireball torched the initial mob of them. You push further past, and you find yourself just, as you said, kind of in a Zen moment wandering. And you start following the tracks. They lead north and west. You follow them. You're just walking, treading these huge,
I know it's
skeletal, giant tracks.
but I'm just doing it.
You start walking. You walk, and you walk miles. By moonlight, you're just like looking, and you follow further. Continue looking. You follow further. You walk by. You're gone for hours. You end up north of the lake, and you find yourself in this hilly area, and it's immediately recognizable even in the moonlight. This is the hilly area that you guys briefly kind of scoped out from an aerial
the little
perspective.
things on top.
Yes, but instead of the little things on top, you find rubble. You walk up one of these hills, and you see that the thing on top almost looks like it burst outward. And then you look at another hill, and another hill. You run to another hill, same thing. You run to another hill, same thing. And across a dozen of these hills, these things seem to have burst out open.
Is there anything? Is there like a crater inside or anything?
There's like, I wouldn't say a crater, but a hole, a pit. In some of them, you actually find some personal effects, like bone necklaces and like just scraps of desiccated like fur
And
And like-
photos of their family.
and like animal horns.
I'm going to pick some of
These
those.
look like graves.
I want to take one thing, maybe one of the
They're
clothes. or
everything
something.
you picked up is giant sized, is large.
Okay. I need something that's giant size, and I'm going to
You
continue
pick up
my
a necklace.
investigation
It's like a belt. It's
and
like
walk
the size
back.
of a belt for you.
Okay.
Okay. You're in the camp. You're exhausted.
Yeah.
Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically.
Yeah, I'm
Feel
just
like-
crashing. I'm just crashing.
Okay.
That's what's happening.
You guys get back. Durant is in the tent. You don't see Tuco.
Okay.
You know that it's not uncommon for Tuco to be restless at times. And you're like, oh, he's probably okay.
I'm not. Tuco's a known person, so Humphrey is very interested in getting some sleep to get his squad back.
Okay. You as well?
Riff goes to locate Durant.
Durant is asleep in a bedroll in a tent.
I've like been asleep for 10 or 20 minutes at this.
Is it like a big tent? I mean, it's not
It's
like a
the tent
personal-
where you guys share a tent.
Okay. So basically, he just goes over and just kind of puts his hand on his brother's hair just gently and like just rubs a little bit and just like lays down next to him. They're not spooning, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, they're brothers.
I mean, the brothers. That
But
would,
he lays down next to him and tries to fall asleep.
Okay. You're out pretty quickly. Tuco, it's about 2 a.m. before you return. You get back to camp. As I mentioned, there are 3 squads kind of circling the perimeter. When you first approach without a torch, they're like, who goes there? Halt! They're holding a torch.
It is I. It is Tuco. It is okay.
Oh, Tuco, come in. Are you okay?
Yes, I had much to think about, and I wanted to see if I could find anything out about the attack or anything.
They see you carrying this belt of bone jewelry, and they're like, what is that?
It is what I have found. I need to talk to Captain Edwards about it, but it is late. I think this can wait until the morning.
Wise move. Edwards is asleep in his tent. Good night, Tuco.
Thank you.
All right. The night passes uneventfully. You guys wake up in the late morning because of the tardiness of the sleeping. You wake up at somewhere around 10 a.m. and you are fully rested. All slot has been restored. If you were wounded, Durant, how much were you down?
I was still down. Let's see here. I was still down by 5.
Okay, what's your endurance?
My endurance is 2.
You regain 2 of your health.
Okay.
All of your wounds are healed.
Sweet.
You're not sure why, but I know why. You hear the clatter of the camp. The camp is awake. You see a lot of groggy people. And when you guys kind of emerge, you hear like one of the guards saying like, "You guys, quiet down. The others haven't even slept yet." And they're like, "Oh, sorry." And they're like eating some like porridge, basically, like some oatmeal. The mess tent is active but quiet.
Is Captain Edwards about?
He is. You see him in the mess tent, and you see him talking to the cook. And he's going through some ledger, which you presume is like the inventory of supplies. And he's like indicating to the cook what can and cannot be served. He says, he turns and he sees you. He's like, good morning, my friends. You are well?
I have some news, but it's maybe not something we should talk about openly when you have a chance.
Let's go to the main tent. You guys walk off to the larger tent. You go with Edwards. He walks in, pulls up a chair, gestures for you guys to sit down.
And I say, well, Master Durant shared with you the map of our previous expedition. There was a hilly area with mounds on top of it. I don't know how to explain it, but things have changed there. The mounds seem to have exploded somehow. I do not know how. And I have found personal effects. I believe they are
pharaohs, some kind of burial mounds.
Yes, and I pulled out the necklace, and this is not what someone our size would wear. This is much larger.
As you explain this, you see that it dawns upon Edwards, and he says, the attack last night, you believe it came from these mounds?
I do not know how, but it is a very likely possibility.
Are you refreshed enough that you would be willing to investigate further by daylight?
Yes. Let's go.
I would implore you to do this. I'm going to be explaining to the crew the necessary rationing that will be needed, as well as my plans to better fortify the camp and begin a process of rotating fishing and gathering of edible foods, as well as possibly hunting. We will not be sending any groups out to explore further until the settlement has been better fortified and established. Would you agree that this is wise? Yeah.
Yes.
Then I will leave it to you to investigate this further. And I trust that the gods will watch over you and empower you as they have thus far.
Captain, is there any possibility that there would be other ships around this area that's maybe not from your...
It is possible that there would be other ships passing towards Nicaea. My guess is that if you were to see them, they would be north. And to be able to see them, you would need to be on the north end of this island, nearest to the mountain range. Whether we could signal those ships, if they would even be close enough to see, is another story entirely. We would need a massive source of light or sound or smoke to be able to do that, which I cannot convey the possibility of, as we have not yet ventured into that mountain range.
I think we need to prepare for that as well. It may take a long time, but we have to scout that area out and start preparing so that we can see if there are any ships and try to contact them so that we do not have to wait for someone that may or may not come.
That is truly wise. I would agree with you, though I cannot say what the mountain range involves. We do have some climbing gear here for the purpose of mountaineering, but it was never expressly conveyed through our mission for this expedition that we delve that far. Securing land that would be appropriate for farming, securing freshwater sources, securing a harbor would be the primary directive.
Yes.
But I agree with you that if there's any chance of seeing a ship passing by on its way east towards Nicaea, it would be to our benefit to at least try to signal a ship. Whether that ship would recognize that signal and would even try to come and respond and maybe assist us would be another question entirely. But perhaps that is something that we can look toward.
My friends, I had a long night last night, and something tells me you did as well. Is there anything else that we need to think about?
Edward says, if you are going to these foothills, I would urge you to go now. Have some food, but to be sure, but by daylight you should go, as I'm growing more and more fearful of nighttime being something where we need to be on our greatest guard and our greatest vigil.
And Master Durant, I did not mean any disrespect by taking this from the grave. Is there anything we need to do with this necklace or any of those graves up there in general?
I would have to see the site to try and understand the customs involved for these particular creatures. I do think we should return that as part of our mission.
As you say?
Another question, Captain.
Yes.
My armor sustained some damage, and if we do what we aim to do today, I imagine that it will get more damage. I might need use of a blacksmith if we have one within our company, possibly tonight.
I do have leather armor that would likely fit you if you needed to, but it will take time. The smith does not have a proper forge that has been established as of yet.
I think my armor is still better than the leather that you would offer, so I will continue to wear it until I can no longer.
I will make no promises, but in my best efforts, once our base camp is secured, to have the men begin gathering stone and working the stone in order to build a sufficient forge for the blacksmith. That will be on our priorities, as I feel that this may be of benefit to everyone to be able to have such facilities ready should the need arise.
Thank you.
Quite welcome. Well, good luck, gentlemen, and please, for my own peace of mind, I hope that you return before nightfall. Be safe.
You as well.
Riff goes up and clasps arms with says, Captain Edwards, if you feel in doubt, ask the one for wisdom.
I'm going to actually, I don't know if Edwards would know about the one. Let's see.
Nope.
He's like, the one?
Just ask.
Okay. So be it.
And Captain Edwards, if we can't make it back by the end of tonight, we will find a way to send you a message to let you know.
Yes. Thank you. You guys walk out of Edwards. He stays in the tent, and you see he starts opening the ledgers of other equipment that's not food related and starts going through that stuff. You guys walk out of the tent, and do you gather anything like that you need for this?
You need rations.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
So presumably, like, you walk over to your tent, you grab your personal effects, the things that are listed on your character sheet, armor, weapons, that kind of stuff, right? As you are coming out of the tent to head out there, you see the Nizak, Gren, standing outside of your tent, like expressionless. And you see when you walk out, he looks at Tuco. And he says, "You found great bone jewelry?"
Yes, we don't know what it is. We think it was from a grave.
And see?
Yes, I don't know if I left it with Captain Edwards. Oh no, we brought it back because Durant wanted to take it back. So yeah. What do you think, Durant? Can we show
Gren
him?
can see.
Yes.
You see Gren like pick it up and he's looking at it. Is very old. He says, this skull, this is skull of snow papraki. You know what is papraki? Great cat, can climb even mountains. Very fierce. Snow papraki only live in Northlands, Arakazine.
Is there any way to get there from here that you know of?
No, but this necklace is necklace of Rogaru. Giant folk live in Northlands of Arakazine. Gren have seen before.
So there are large mountains here. Is this Arakazine? This is not Arakazine, right?
No, Arakazine is where ship come from.
Is there any possibility that these snow, what did you call them? Snow
Giant folk.
Rogaru. Okay.
Snow papraki,
Papraki.
I think.
Giant folk
Okay.
attacked last
Like
night. Dead giant folk. How got here from Arakazine, Gren don't know.
So
What
the
must
giant
be?
folk are also Arakazine?
Rogaru. But how got here, Gren don't know. Maybe Rogaru have big ships long ago for go places.
If you are aware of these, we are going to the burials ground that we found.
Gren never seen Rogaru in real. But no legends.
Would you like to come with us?
Yeah, but Grin, you seem really excited and happy to see us today, like full of energy. I agree. Would you want to come with us on this?
Gren can come.
Gren, what do you know about the culture of the Rogaru?
Not for knowing. Rogaru, like tribes, live in Northlands. Cold. Ice.
Not like here.
No. This place not like Northlands. Northlands white. All. Hard to live, but Rogaru live. Them have tribes. Them hunt for eat.
It would also seem they bury their dead.
One time Rogaru, long ago, south in Arakazine, but them go Northlands when Kemrog. Them stay Northlands even after Kemrog.
Who are Kemrog? Are they invaders or something?
Kemrog invaders conquer all Arakazine, except Northlands. Lizards no like snow. Not liking ice. Kemrog magic. Who is how take over Arakazine. Conquer, make slaves of all. even of Nizak and man.
But later defeated by Nizak and men.
Cronin bring together many. Him, like first man who bring, call upon gods for strength. Bring together Skrikep, Goop, Goot, and Makwo. Them together fight, send Kemrog back to Kem.
You have mentioned magic, and you have also mentioned God's powers. Are those different or the same? Do you know?
Nizak have no god.
No,
Nizak-
but the people that
Nizak
fought
not
them.
made by gods.
What were Nizak made by?
From ground came Nizak. Beyond memories past.
But you said that to defeat the Kemrog, you had help from
Cronin.
gods. Cronin had
Cronin
gods.
have help from him gods. Cronin, ancient dominion. Him make first lands of man, first kings of man. Skrikep, Gut, Makwo, Nizak, Cronin bring together for make fist to fight Kemrog.
Do the lands of Kem still exist?
Some say, but can't go. Gods make ocean.
Ocean that never ends?
Gren not really sure, just stories.
Ships cannot go to Kem?
No. But Kemrog cannot come to Arakazine. Human god. Shias Joel take ocean and make wall. Ships can't pass. Kemrog stay in Kem.
That's after they were defeated. They came to Arakazine to conquer and then
After
pushed back.
Union. Kingdoms of man all come from Cronin. Cronin make first dominion, all Arakazine.
Bryn, can I ask you about some new words that I learned? Maybe you can tell me what they mean. Do the words upai and visay and oof mean anything to you?
Upai Visei Oof,
Yeah, those are the three words. I want to say them all together.
is name of old god of man.
Name of old god of man.
Old god of man. Mankind. Old god is Upai Visei Oof. Don't know what means in ancient dominion. Gren not reading books for no, but can find in temples in O'Shale.
Thank you.
Priests keep stories in books. Not many man worship Upai Visei Oof anymore because his old god.
Because they found newer gods they like better,
Some,
or because
many gods worship man. Nizak no worship gods.
Do many men also worship no gods?
Not many. Most worship some gods or many gods. Because man have fear. And fear make man worship gods. Make feel better.
Nizak no fear?
Nizak have no fear. We live and then we die. Is all part. He just looks like That's a normal statement. Like
Yeah.
like he was just explaining what water is. We're going to place where find belts.
That is the first thing we must understand.
Think is more giant skeleton.
I know there is.
Gren need a bigger stick. And that is real on this episode of the Dads. We'll find out what happens next, Carafa. Stay tuned. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Well, hello, and welcome to Bill Allan World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you are just watching, and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.